Good morning. Hello. Today is the 24th of February 2025. This is Hector Vladimir. Welcome to the channel. Please subscribe to support this work and channel. I'd like to read today an article, again a Wikipedia article about the Nissan LEAF. I believe the Nissan LEAF was a success story for the Nissan Motor Company, and it is a model that is still available in many parts of the world. It is a very successful electric vehicle. I believe, in fact, it was among the first mass-produced electric vehicles to hit the market, even before the Tesla vehicles began to be produced in mass. The Nissan LEAF was already being sold in many parts of the world, and we'll go through the details about that, and we'll follow up this article, very important article about the Nissan LEAF electric vehicle. We'll follow it with the headlines for electric vehicle news around the world. So to start, again, this is a Wikipedia article. I believe these articles are quite informative, quite useful, quite valuable. So that's why I choose Wikipedia. They do include a lot of detail. People that put these things together, these articles, appear to be quite knowledgeable. And of course, they use very strict standards as the sources go, as far as sourcing the material in Wikipedia. That's why I do trust it. So to begin, Nissan LEAF, a second generation Nissan LEAF, is shown in the picture. I will put that on this chat. It is from 2017 to the present, the new styling of the Nissan LEAF. A lot of people disliked the first generation. I happen to have owned one from 2016, the last year it was produced. However, I did sell it in 2023. So the Nissan LEAF, in Japanese, I believe it is pronounced Nissan Rifu, stylized as LEAF, which is a battery electric powered compact car manufactured by Nissan, produced since 2010 across 2 generations. It has been offered exclusively as a 5-door hatchback. The term LEAF serves as a backronym to leading environmentally friendly, affordable family car. Did not know that. The LEAF was unveiled on 1st August 2009 as the world's first mass market electric and zero emission vehicle. So that has been confirmed, and that is per jump up to a decade of innovation. The LEAF's incredible journey. That's the source of that. Among other awards and recognition, it received the 2010 Green Car Vision Award, the 2011 European Car of the Year, the 2011 World Car of the Year, and the 2011 to 2012 Car of the Year in Japan. The second generation LEAF was introduced in October 2017. The LEAF's range on a full charge has been steadily increased from 117 kilometers, that's 73 miles, to 364 kilometers, that's 226 miles, EPA rated, by the use of larger battery packs and several minor improvements. Global sales across both generations totaled 577,000 by February 2022. As of September 2021, European sales totaled more than 208,000, and as of December 2021, over 165,000 had been sold in the US and 157,000 in Japan. The LEAF was the world's all-time top-selling plug-in electric car until it was surpassed in the early 2020 by the Tesla Model 3. And I have a video on that very fact. I recall just looking at it just recently from April of 2020, which is quite early in the year, where I stated that Leaf was still the best affordable sold vehicle, electric vehicle. At that time, the Model 3 was dubbed as an affordable vehicle, which is not to my opinion, because it was nearly $50,000 here in the US, which is a good chunk of change if you ask me, out the door, that is. While the Leaf, I purchased a 2016 Nissan Leaf S for little over $26,000 in 2016. That is US dollars. So the article continues. The first generation ZEO 2010, and there's a 2012 Leaf pictured here from Germany. Apparently, it says the first generation Nissan Leaf was in production from 2010 to 2017. It was unveiled on August 1st, 2009, as the world's first series produced battery electric vehicle. Before it officially commenced production, Nissan developed 3 prototype battery electric vehicles dubbed the EV1, EV2, and EV11. The former 2 were based on the Z11 Nissan Cube, while the latter was based on the C11 Nissan Tida, or Tida. That's spelled T-I-I-D-A. It began production on 22nd October 2010 at the Ultimas facility in Yokosuka, Kanagawa, and until early 2013. Models sold in Europe and the US were imported from the Ultimas plant, adapted stylistically for the respective markets. On 12 December 2012, battery manufacturing began at the Smyrna plant, with official production of the Leaf initiating on 9 January 2013. Smyrna plant sounds very familiar. There's a city here in the state of Georgia in the US called Smyrna. Let me find out where Smyrna is located. We'll be back. And looking that up, the Smyrna plant is in Smyrna, Tennessee, and it is a Nissan plant that employs about 8,000 people. Began production in 1983. I'm not sure if it was always a Nissan plant. It may have been. It looks like it was. The plant has an annual capacity of 640,000 cars, which was the highest in North America in 2017. On 12 December 2012, battery manufacturing began at the Smyrna plant, again in Tennessee, with official production of the Leaf initiating on 9 January 2013. That is US production. Manufacturing in the UK began on 28 March 2013. Initially, the Leaf was available exclusively with a large battery pack composed of 192 flat laminated lithium-ion cells developed in collaboration with NEC, which offers advantages such as simplified design, efficient cooling, and optimal packaging. The battery pack is located under the floor and between the wheels, optimizing the vehicle's handling and interior space. The electric motor produces 80 kilowatt, that's 110 horsepower of power, with a range of about 160 kilometers, that's 100 miles, when the battery is fully charged. Recharging can take up to 16 hours on 110 volts or 8 hours on 220 volts of power. Fast charging is also available with a specific charger which can restore 80% of the battery in approximately 30 minutes. The first generation Leaf garnered both acclaim and criticism from multiple automotive critics, Car and Driver, and American Automotive Magazine, expressed unfavorable opinions about the inexpensive materials used in the vehicle, asserting that they seem more fitting for a car priced at half its actual cost. However, they commended the Leaf for its spacious boot or trunk, along with features like standard heated seats, and in higher-end models, a heated steering wheel and leather seats. Opinions on the battery performance and safety specs vary, with some finding the battery and range underwhelming and others expressing concerns about safety levels. Okay, continuing with the article, in October 2017, for the 2018 model year, Nissan launched the new generation Nissan LEAF in Japan, and deliveries in North America and Europe began in February 2018. In 2018, global sales reached a record level of 87,149 units, third behind the Tesla Model 3 and the BAIC EC series. Mechanically, the second generation LEAF is similar to the first, while adding more range and more power. Stylistically, it is a major departure from the previous model. The interior adds Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. It has a 40 kilowatt hour battery pack, or 39 kilowatt hour usable, with an EPA rated range of 243 kilometers, that is 151 miles. The electric motor produces 110 kilowatts, that's 147 horsepower, and 320 Newton meters, that's 236 foot-pounds of torque. It charges through either a 6.6 kilowatt regular plug, that's the SAE J1772 in the US and Japan, or a Type 2 connector in the EU countries, or a 50 kilowatt CHAdeMO, and has the ability to send power back to the grid. ProPilot Assist, a lane centering system, is available on the two highest trim levels for an additional cost, and has automatic parking in some markets. The car offers one pedal braking, where easing off the accelerator pedal causes significant regenerative braking to the point where the vehicle can be brought to a complete stop without the driver touching the brake pedal, at which point hydraulic brakes are automatically applied to hold the vehicle in position. From 2019, the LEAF E Plus, LEAF Plus in North America variant has been offered. It has a larger 62 kilowatt hour battery, 59 kilowatt hours usable, providing an EPA range of 364 kilometers, that's 226 miles, and a new 160 kilowatt motor. It can use the CHAdeMO chargers up to 100 kilowatts. In September 2020, Nissan showed off a novel UK prototype emergency services version of the LEAF for natural disaster response, dubbed the RE-LEAF, based on the 62 kilowatt hour LEAF E Plus, sold in the US as the Plus. The working concept vehicle is rugged, with an elevated ride height of 70 millimeters, that's 2.8 inches, underbody protection, and all-terrain tires on motorsport wheels. It is intended to serve as a reliable mobile power source for a small command center, offering weatherproof external power outlets for site lighting, tools, or emergency medical equipment. Other modifications include a cargo area in place of the rear seats, separated from the passenger area by a cage, a rear hatch area that opens to a workstation area with pull-out computer desk, and 810 millimeter, that's 32-inch LCD monitor, and roof-mounted emergency lights. While there was no word of an actual production version, the concept was well received in the automotive, EV, and tech media. In June 2022, the LEAF received a facelift for the 2023 model year. In the US, the EPA range was slightly reduced to 240 kilometers, that's 149 miles, for the 40 kilowatt hour version, and 341 kilometers 212 miles for the 62 kilowatt-hour version. There are a few photos of the Leaf. We'll probably post those rear view in the UK, and the 2021 Nissan Leaf E Nismo in Japan. 2021 Nissan Leaf E Nismo, again rear view. Interior 2023 model year facelift model. A bit more of an aggressive look, and perhaps a bit more of a hatchback look, or a small, very small SUV look. There's a rear view of that as well. Trim lines. In Europe, the European Leafs are offered in the following trim lines: Visia, Accenta, N-Connecta, and Tecna. The N-Connecta adds from Accenta an intelligent around view monitor with moving object detection and front and rear parking sensors. Part synthetic leather and cloth trim, heat pack with heated seats and heated steering wheel, 43 centimeter, 17-inch alloy wheels, and privacy glass. Tecna adds from the N-Connecta Pro Pilot advanced driver assistance system, Bose speakers, part leather seats with ultra suede trim, LED fog lamps with cornering function, and electronic parking brake. In North America, the North American Leafs were initially sold as S, SV, and SL trim lines. In 2018, for the 2019 model year, the S Plus, SV Plus, and the SL Plus trims were added. The S and the SV trim levels can be had with either the Leaf or the Leaf Plus battery pack. The SL is only available in the Leaf Plus configuration. The Mexican model arrived on 24 August 2018 as a 2019 model and was offered in the S, SL, and the SL Bitono trim lines. Production and future plans. In celebration of World EV Day, 9th September 2020, Nissan marked the production of the 500,000th Leaf. UK production ceased in March 2024 after 270,000 units produced in Sunderland plant, both generations included. Nissan planned to end the production of the Leaf in 2026 and replace it with a new EV model. Awards. The Leaf was chosen as one of the top 10 tech cars in the US IEEE in 2018. That is the Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers. In 2022, the Leaf was chosen as the best family electric car at the UK Car Buyers Best Used Car Awards. Global sales. The production version was unveiled in August 2009. After receiving 20,000 pre-orders in the United States, Nissan stopped taking reservations in the United States until early 2011. Production in Japan started in October 2010, and delivery in the US and Japan began in December, with deliveries in other markets beginning in early 2012. By December 2020, the Leaf was sold in 59 markets around the world. The Leaf was the world's best-selling electric car from 2011 to 2014 and 2016. Sales fell in 2015, with overall sales led by the Tesla Model S. As of December 2019, the Leaf listed as the world's all-time best-selling plug-in electric car. By early 2020, the Tesla Model 3 surpassed the Leaf to become the new best-selling electric car in history. By February 2022, global Leaf deliveries totaled 577,000 cars. As of September 2021, Europe was listed as the biggest market with more than 208,000 units sold, of which 72,620 units had been registered in Norway, the leading European national market. As of December 2021, US sales totaled 165,710 units through December 2021 and 157,059 units in Japan. There's a chart here that goes by country, US and Japan. Total units in US 196,107, and total units in Japan were 179,815, and that is through years from 2010 through 2023, with US 2024 figures included. There's a note here that says Chinese sales correspond to the rebadged Venucia E30. Venucia, that's spelled V-E-N-U-C-I-A, E30. In popular culture, the Nissan LEAF is the subject of the Roger McGough's poem Ode to the Leaf from his 2012 collection, As Far as I Know. Also, there are some appearances in popular media. Canto Sound is one. The other one is Electric Car Use by Country. The other one is List of Best-Selling Automobiles. The other one is List of Production Battery Electric Vehicles. The other one is a film that I did watch some years ago. It's called The Revenge of the Electric Car. And there is a film. This film here, The Revenge of the Electric Car, is from 2011, from an American film documentary documenting how the electric car was brought to world markets. There is a prequel to that film called Who Killed the Electric Car, which is a bit older, I believe, from the mid-2000s, and it does not showcase the LEAF. The LEAF was not developed yet, but it does show an earlier history of the electric vehicle, including the GM's first try at producing an electric vehicle. I believe it was called the EV1, if I'm not mistaken. Do put that in the comments if you know about this film and if there are some corrections to be made. Another appearance is in the Zero Emissions vehicle publication, a vehicle that emits no exhaust gas from the onboard source of power. The references are on the Wikipedia article. I will put the link for that Wikipedia article, which is quite informative, on the description of this chat. So look for that, especially if you're interested in any of the sources or references. One thing that I do find curiously missing from this Wikipedia article is that the leader at the time, or the CEO of the Nissan Corporation, was Carlos Ghosn. He was pretty much the person that pushed and supported the development, launch, and sales of the Nissan LEAF. He was a huge and central figure in the development and success of the Nissan LEAF, and I find it quite disturbing that this information is missing from this Wikipedia article. I'm not sure what the purpose is behind it, but I wanted to go ahead and include that piece of info, which I believe is quite important, critical, for you to know that Carlos Ghosn was very important in the triumph that was the Nissan LEAF. And just to review some of the top electric vehicles related news that are available on the internet here in the US, going over to insideevs.com. That's inside, INSIDEEVS.com. There are some headlines. Again, today is the 24th of February, 2025. It's about 8:30 in the morning here in the southeast US. The headline says, Rivian says policy shifts will cost hundreds of millions this year. Presumably, they're talking about it's going to cost the company hundreds of millions. And it says, Rivian's future looks promising, but regulatory and economic headwinds pose a challenge to its growth plans. Another headline is Sony Honda can't explain why you should buy the Afeela EV. Sony Honda Mobility is serious about making an electric vehicle. It has a real product. I've sat in it, and it has the full might of Honda's EV hub in Marysville, Ohio behind it. There is an AI assistant, PlayStation integration, and a suite of driver assistance systems. The Sony Honda Afeela 1 has everything you would expect from a modern electric sedan. So that is quite a surprise to me that this project is actually something that's being seriously worked on with or by Honda and Sony. I remember reading about this or looking at some reports on this some time ago, maybe over a year ago, but supposedly the rumors went that the project was scrapped. Obviously, that was not the case. So we'll keep an eye on that and see how else it develops. Another headline, the 2025 Hyundai Ioniq 5 is better than ever. The Hyundai Ioniq 5 has been near and dear to my heart since I reviewed it a few years back. Again, this is an article by Tim Levin with Inside EVs, and it continues. It's got a retro futuristic vibe I love, a comfy interior, and outstanding specs. And I would probably take this vehicle myself and look at the specs for it and see exactly what he's talking about. What is it that is so great about it? I do know that the Ioniq 6 has pretty impressive specifications, and in fact is one of the most efficient electric vehicles out there last time I checked. So I will take a look at this, and I will give him the benefit of the doubt here that the Ioniq 5 from Hyundai is a quite impressive vehicle. The article continues from Tim Levin. A used one of those is probably the next car I'll buy once they get cheap enough, or my 2010 Subaru craps out, whichever comes first. So the article continues. Again, this is from Inside EVs. The last headline they have on their website, which presumably is a quite popular site. It says the new Tesla Model Y first reviews night and day. And again, if you don't know, the Tesla has refreshed their models, including their Model 3, Model Y, and perhaps other models. Do put that in the comment if you know if they have refreshed the other models, such as the S, the X, and whichever other models they may have out there. I'm not sure if any other And the article goes, again, this is from Tim Levin from February 22nd, a couple of days ago. At long last, a refreshed Tesla Model Y has arrived. For 2026, the electric crossover gets its first meaningful update since it went on sale back in 2020. The big question is it enough? You can interpret that in a few ways. Is the revamped model enough to counteract Tesla's slowing sales, which dropped slightly in 2024 for the first time in the company's modern history? Is it enough to fend off stiffer competition in the electric vehicle space, especially from Chinese companies? Is it enough to maintain the Model Y's spot among the top-selling cars in the world, even as people protest the brand and its CEO? And the article continues, again from Tim Levin from Inside EVs. And just to touch as the last thing I'll do here this morning, I will touch up on the Tesla protests. I have not been following that, maybe as I should, but there's an article here that perhaps summarizes what's been going on quite well. Anti-Tesla protests, sell-offs mount as Musk raids the US government. So quite strong language there. Country music star Sheryl Crow, whose music I enjoyed, was among those who sold their Tesla to protest Elon Musk. Tesla and Dodge, or Doge, D-O-G-E, where does it end? The article is by Kevin Williams from Inside EVs from February 17th. And it continues, country pop singer Sheryl Crow sold her Tesla Model 3 and donated the proceeds to NPR. Simultaneously, protests have been occurring nationwide at Tesla stores. Tesla's sales have been on a downtrend, especially in Europe. It is time to acknowledge the elephant in the room here, Elon Musk's meddling in global politics, far-right activism, and wanton slash and burn of US government departments and programs via the so-called Department of Government Efficiency are increasingly inseparable from the average person's perception of Tesla. For a while, folks were content to turn a blind eye, put up half-hearted "bought this before I knew he was crazy" bumper stickers, or somehow simply not know what was going on. We are past that now. The backlash against Tesla because of Musk's antics in government is gaining steam. Protests against the automaker and its various stores around the US and worldwide broke out this weekend, with some high-profile celebrities using the opportunity to publicly move on from Musk's cars. Country pop musician Sheryl Crow announced that she sold her Tesla Model 3 and is donating the vehicle's proceeds to NPR. This comes hot on the heels of Musk's decree on X that the government should defund NPR. Although most of NPR's funding does not actually come from the federal government, NPR said a great deal of the earmarked funds from the federal government are important to local stations remaining on air. So the article continues. It highlights the country singers, or the singer's decision to publicly get rid of her Tesla. It also highlights some of the protests at Tesla stores that went on. There's a caption, and it is from Stephen Monacelli. And it says, a scene from a Tesla protest in Berkeley, California. I would probably put the photo of that. Protest outside of Alexandria, Virginia. Tesla dealership in the pouring rain, lots of honking. And that is that. I will leave it at that. Thank you very much. Do again support the channel by subscribing and checking back in and looking for updated videos and chats often. Thank you very much.